Hey everybody, this is Alan from Woodcrest Bonsai. Today, in this video, I'm going to work on 3 more Portulacaria jade. And the 2 on either end are pretty much set. They just need very minor trimming. And the one in the middle was my Christmas miracle tree that I did a video. And this was in an ice cream container. But the container had completely disintegrated, so it was actually growing in midair. The only part of the ice cream container that was still intact was the very bottom. And so that's why I was able to put it into this really shallow tray. I did not do any kind of work on the top, and of course it shows. So that's what we're going to do first. And I think I'll start with him. And it was quite a phenomenon, a testament to just how incredibly tough Portulacaria jade are. The thing was literally growing in midair. There was just one film of the old ice cream container on the bottom left. So let's see, where are we going to go with this guy? We obviously have some pretty massive roots, and I've never really figured out the front of this guy. Oh, I don't like the back roots, so. And then, no, I don't know. This is another kind of one where it's like, you really need to probably just do a cutback and then watch what happens, and then begin to make some decisions. I'm assuming this is going to be the leader. And we've got a main branch here and another main branch here. These guys may be sacrifice branches. This really, really low one probably could just come off already right now. So then I'm just going to take, and I think I am going to make this the leader, so I'm going to give it a little more height. And then if this is the main branch, I'm going to take him to there. And then this is also coming off that exact same branch. So we're going to shorten him like that. And yeah, I don't know about these guys, but already, oh no, I never zoomed in. It's like, where are you? We can't see you. Already, it just looks so much better. So now we're going to get some growth into here, build the apex. Who knows what I'm doing with those 2? But none of these trees need to be repotted because they were all repotted fairly recently. So there's number 1. That was fairly simple. Number 2 is a tree that I have featured before. And I do believe that one of the videos was talking about the fact that it was constantly falling over in the pot. So I finally wired it in. And I'm not sure whether it was in this pot or a different pot. But this is a very nice tree, pretty much right where I want it. There's a little bit of space right here that I would love to fill in. But really, when you look at it, it's a very nice tree. And this is one of those that just needs that tiny little bit of removal of the tips. Keep it nice and dense, full. And I do have this first branch wired into place, and I think I'll leave the wire. It's certainly not cutting in by any means. And I love the canopy, I love the movement. Like I said, we're missing a little bit in here, but that can grow. And I have a whole bunch of trees that are in training that aren't quite, really ready, quote unquote. But once you get a tree that has the silhouette that you want and the movement that you want, and you can call it finished, at least in my brain, then this is really the essence of bonsai right here, is to keeping these puppies from elongating too much. Constant trimming and training. And if I wasn't talking to you on this video, it can become very meditative, just in silence, just taking a tree and just being with it. It can be an incredibly meditative experience, which is really a huge part of growing bonsai for me, is that, and there's a certain amount of fulfillment and satisfaction you get when you have a tree that you've developed and it's really starting to look like what you want it to look like, and you can say, yes, I like that, I really like that. The sense of fulfillment and satisfaction out of having a tree that you really love is really the ultimate form of horticulture. I don't know, and I used to grow veggies, and of course you get the broccoli and you cut it off and you got the water already heating inside and you're eating fresh broccoli that's been off the plant for 30 seconds. Man, that's awesome, and I don't grow fruit trees, but I know people, right, and most of the people that are growing fruit trees around here are growing tropical fruit, and having that fresh fruit that you just pulled off the tree, amazing. But for me, there really is no comparison to any other form of horticulture. So like right now I've got snapdragons that are just about ready to go into their glory, full bloom, and they're beautiful, they're fantastic. But they fade and they're gone. This tree could live another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. By then somebody else will own it. But that's really the essence of bonsai for me, is that meditative quality of trimming a tree and the satisfaction of having a tree that you've really have enjoyed developing through the years. And that brings us to tree number 3, which I think I have a video on this one too. And boy, what a difference, huh? Than the number 2. So let's try to, I'm going to have to zoom out if I'm going to do that. We'll zoom back in to work on this guy. So look at the difference of these two trees. This one has feminine gracefulness, and this is just masculine, heavy power. And as is typical with masculine trees versus feminine trees, this guy's in a rectangular pot with a pretty powerful pot, and the other guy, or the other girl is in an oval pot, shallow oval, which accentuates the feminine nature of the tree. This guy here is what I call in live oak style. So sometimes you'll see live oaks where they have massive low limbs. So as far as a conventional bonsai, where you do the rule of thirds, this is nowhere near that. And all this needs is just another little haircut too, but we have some places, so we have new growth here that's shooting against the grain, and new growth here that's shooting against the grain, and a little bit right there. And look at that, just taking 3 little pieces off, and it has opened the trunk so beautifully. Look at that. A couple little leaves that I took off at some point in the past has already rooted. Who knows, maybe I'll put him in the thimble pot challenge. So far I haven't had much luck. So there you go. See, then there's another little piece right here. This guy here has sprouted just all by itself. Do I need something in there? Maybe. So who knows? I'll leave that guy, and maybe he can fill in. in here. The rest of it, once again, is just a very slow, meditative trimming. Just taking off the very tips. You know, I like the silhouette. It's a little sparse in here, so I may reduce the top a little more than these branches here. And there's always room for improvement. There's no such thing, you know, when I say a finished tree, there really is no such thing as a finished tree. A finished tree for me is defined as a tree that has the trunk and the movement and the branching and the silhouette and the pads where it doesn't need any more really drastic styling. But finished trees still need work all the time. In fact, a finished tree can need way more work than a tree in training, because you take a tree, you know, the initial stages of bonsai for me is, well, I'll grow a cutting and let it grow, you know, like the sea hibiscus that I did the other day. It was 8 feet high and I chopped it back to about 6 inches. Well, I'm not going to do anything with that tree for a whole nother year. Not going to trim it, not going to train it, not going to do much anything. I may do another video because it's beginning to sprout, and I'll show you how it sprouted. So I will be working on this tree much, much more often than that guy, because that's just in the beginning stages of growth and reduction. And for me, I have no problem with letting things grow tremendously and then reducing them tremendously. So once you've got to this stage, then you never want it to get out of bounds. Just want to keep... Oh, there's a piece that has died, and well, probably what happened was it got shaded out by the top here, and that can happen. Then we have our little piece here, and look at the back. The back roots are horrible, but the front roots have, you know, perfect 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's not perfect Nabari, there's no doubt about that, but they kind of follow the first main branches. And there really is no apex, it's just a crown of different branches that come from about right into here. There's 3, 4 of them that all form the apex. And that is a characteristic of a lot of finished trees. The apex is not necessarily just one branch coming up. So there we go. I think he's done. Now because I'm not gonna root prune any of these and they're rooted out nicely, I'm gonna give them all a good fertilization. And whenever I fertilize a quote-unquote finished tree, I always remember John Naka's quote. And John Naka was considered the foremost American bonsai artist. He was of Oriental descent, so if you looked at him, it looked like he was from Japan, but he was born in America. And he was considered the best bonsai artist in the country when he was alive. And he always used to say, fertilize your trees to keep them healthy, but not too healthy. And you know, when you first think of that, it's like, whoa, what's he talking about? But then this is exactly what he's talking about. If I give this a huge dose of fertilizer, then it's just going to be growing like crazy, and all this beautiful meditative work will be like, not again, I got to do it again because I fertilize it too much. So that's what John Naka meant by fertilize to keep your trees healthy, but not too healthy. You have to fully expect that your finished trees are going to require the kind of work that I'm doing on this one. But too much fertilizer just makes it even more work. So that's the philosophy that I try to use with fertilization. Fertilize to keep your trees healthy, but not too healthy. And that really makes a lot of sense once you begin to process it. So there we go. Let's put them all back here. See, in this one, I will not be working on this guy for maybe another few months. The other two will get haircuts probably once a month. There we go. So 3 more Portulacaria jade, the Christmas miracle. And I will leave the videos where I repot this guy into this pot from that living in midair. And I also will leave a link to the video where I work on this tree, because I know it was just always falling over. So, and I think it was a repot too. So you'll be able to see those at the end of this video if you want to click on those and watch those videos too. So as far as this video, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. These are, the 2 guys on the ends are perfect examples of just how finished trees need very little pinching as far as individual branches, but they need a lot of it, versus a tree that's still got a long way to go and still in training, that is still in the grow and reduce stage. So I hope that helps. If you're new and you're looking, what's the difference between trees like that? And so if you are new and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you can watch all my subsequent videos. And please hit the thumbs up button. All that good stuff helps send me to more and more people. And I'm slowly but surely increasing my subscriber base, so I want to thank everyone who has subscribed. And that's it for this video. So thank you so much for watching Woodcrest Bonsai.